Well, hello everyone. How are we doing? I'm Father Omaris, and part of our Jubilee Year celebrations is getting to know your priest. This month of June is all about getting to know your priest. And so I'd like to share with you two things about me. One being where I was born and was raised, and the other being what inspires my vocation. The first one, where I was born and raised. I was born on the island, beautiful island of Dominica here in the Caribbean, sharing this wonderful climate and weather. You know, Dominica has not only beaches, but it has incredible rivers as well and waterfalls. Dominica has the second largest boiling lake in the world. Now, I've never been in the boiling lake, and I'll tell you, I will never go in the boiling lake because I don't want to be cooked or well done. But Dominica was a beautiful country and island to grow up on. You know, as young boys growing up, we'd always choose between whether we go to the river or to the sea on a day whenever it is that we're going to relax and celebrate as friends and fellowship. It was always beautiful, the green, the fauna, the flora. You know, everything about Dominica tends to be all centered on the beauty of the natural environment and what the natural environment offers, being there and allowing for yourself to embrace that natural culture, that natural environment, and so on. So it was the communal feeling and experience you got in Dominica was just beautiful. It was wonderful. Everyone would know everyone, and even if you didn't really know much of the person living next door or living in a village nearby, but you'd still treat with each other as if, you know, you knew each other from way back when, or you were related by blood even. So Dominica growing up there was always beautiful and wonderful for me, and it added to well, obviously the person I am today. You know, that I always loved community and I always loved hanging out with people and being in fellowship with others. The second question, what inspired my vocation? I'd have to say dealing with the poor, wanting to deal with the poor, and more about the development of the human person, every aspect of the human person. The poor, Jesus doesn't call us to be poor, but physically poor in terms of what we have. Jesus calls us to live a simple life. But to be poor doesn't mean that I have to be destitute, and doesn't mean that I have to be living almost as if life, I can't get through life, I can't have the basic needs, food, clothing, and shelter. But being one with the poor is what Jesus wants us to be and what he calls us to do, where we lift the poor out of their poverty and help them grow and become better in the society. Jesus wants for us to teach others to fish, not just to give them fish and keep them in that poverty-stricken frame of mind, but he wants for us to be developed and to have a different frame of mind, a frame of mind where we look to develop, we look to become better, to become the best version of ourselves, but we look to do that in a way that is always pointing towards him, a way that is always glorifying him and keeping and building our faith in him, but not in a way that keeps us destitute and almost in one sense angry towards our life and towards development and the development of others, you see. And so I really find that this inspires my vocation to help build people, especially the less fortunate, the marginalized people in our society. We have so many of them. And part of my vocation is to help pull them out of that poverty, of thinking poverty. Bob Marley says it all the time, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. And that, I believe, is a large part of my vocation, and it inspires my vocation onwards to persevere for me, because I want to help not just myself, but others to emancipate themselves from mental slavery, to see the good and the beauty of our world, natural as well as the man-made, being able to help those two come together in a wonderful way where they can thrive and bear much fruit for the building and the kingdom of God. I hope I've shared with you a lot, and that way it has helped you to understand me and to know me a lot better and a lot more. God bless you this year of Jubilee. May God inspire hope in each and every one of us, because guess what? Hope does not disappoint. God bless. Bye-bye.